betrothed, a fine young doctor by the name of Cyril Mann, had watched his bride's approach with something akin to awe. Catherine had sat and held Louise's hand through the entire ceremony, both of them trying not to weep. Anne, this precious one who was daughter to them both, this fragile girl whom they both loved, had looked radiant that day. Nicole had stood beside her sister as bridesmaid, together at last. Now it was Nicole who knocked and opened Catherine's door. "We are ready, Mamma." "Then so am I." She rose and held out her hand to her daughter. "I was thinking about Anne's wedding day." "So much joy," Nicole agreed, the words accented by her native French. "A good thing to remember at this time." "Yes." Catherine stood holding her daughter's hand, studying the strong, lovely features. The wedding was a month and more behind them now, and the time had come for yet another parting. "Is something the matter, Mamma?" "I just wish I could hold on to the good moments longer," Catherine said. She took a deep breath. "Come, let us be off." But as she followed Nicole out to where the others waited, it was not just this day's parting that pierced her heart. She looked ahead and saw the future with a mother's wisdom and prayed for strength to endure what she sensed might lay ahead. Chapter 1. The day was gentled by a wind far too warm for early October in Halifax. Out over the slate-gray sea, light rimmed the horizon. Above was only cloud, so thick it appeared more like twilight than mid-morning. Anne reached out with both hands, one taking hold of her husband, Cyril, the other gripping Nicole. She drew strength from these two fine people, and knew with utter certainty that were it not for them here beside her, heartbreak and tears most certainly would overwhelm her. Henri and Louise Robichaud made their way about the gathering, holding each person in turn, saying their goodbyes. 2 months they had been reunited here in what was once known as Acadia and was now called Nova Scotia. Though this particular day graced them with the comfort of a gentle autumn, already the landscape was dotted with the remnants of 2 early snows. 3 times Henri and Louise had postponed their departure, not wanting to leave behind their precious daughters. Now they had no choice. Still, when Henri released his brother Guy and turned to Andrew, he waved Nicole over to translate a final apology. "They say this will be the last ship of the season heading south." "With the troubles rising," Andrew replied, "I have no doubt. Some are even calling it war." "May God grant that it not come to that, not now, not ever." Henri spoke with quiet fervor in his native French, but Nicole's English translation was so subdued, so tragic-sounding, that Anne turned away. The sky seemed grayer still, the wind softer, the sliver of light on the horizon more golden than ever. It was a curious sort of day, the world darkened and brooding, yet with a crown of brilliant light shimmering in the distance, countless miles away. Anne clung to the light with the desperate hope that this was indeed a sign for her, a promise that if she held on through this heart-rending moment, there would be joy again. The time with Louise and Henri had been unlike anything she could have ever expected. Their reunion was branded upon her heart. It took place here at the quayside, on this very spot where they now stood holding one another. Catherine had waited beside her then, with Andrew, Nicole, and Cyril. Just like now, only different, for her body had not been wrenched by sorrow, as now. Then Anne had seen the impossible come to life, the dreams of years, and had experienced joy so great her heart could scarcely contain all she had felt. The boat drew near, and the 2 figures rose up above the gunwale and waved and shouted and laughed and wept. The 3 of them, Andrew, Catherine, and Nicole, had replied with tears and cries of their own. Anne had suddenly found herself blinded, as though her heart's only defense was to wash the day in tears, leaving her unable to see a thing. No matter that she could no longer see, as the boat had scraped against the rocky quay and the cries and the footsteps came nearer. No matter that she had no memory even today of what the newcomers said, for her son